Hey guys, Jack the Alchemist. I'm back with another video. It's been a little while, but I feel the need to make a video over a word that the mass media loves to throw around. They like to use the word allegedly when talking just about anything where they don't want to say the person did it. Well, my point being on this video, it's not really to answer a question, and most of my videos are just subjects of questions. This is a video about them using words that they don't understand the meaning. They've heard other people use the word in context, but they don't really know what it means themselves. So, in general, the word allege, which is the root of the word allegedly, has to do with subject of possible illegal activity. You are, as an example, let's say Jim was just arrested for alleged drug-related deals. What they're saying is he is a drug dealer. He's a suspected drug dealer. Well, if you caught this man red-handed handing a bag of something to someone and accepting cash, and it turned out to be, let's say, an illegal drug, it's no longer alleged. It's he did it. And they like to use this word in particular with a lot of recent events. There's been several really horrible tragedies involving some mass shootings. And I will point out right now that guns are not at fault. People are. People kill people. Just like any tool, a gun can be misused. You can use a hammer to do the same kind of damage. You just won't quite get as much done. In the middle of all this, just a prime example, some nutcase went ballistic in China and stabbed a whole bunch of people and managed to do quite a bit of damage before they managed to stop him. And he killed several people with a knife. Just in the street. Another example is some nutcase traveled from Tokyo, Japan to Kyoto, Japan, which is more than a 200-mile journey, specifically to attack a Japanese animation studio for his crazy ideas that they stole his novel. And he was a clear nutcase. That they had lots of evidence to prove it. But he traveled down there, got a can of gasoline, walked in there, dumped it everywhere, set the place on fire, and ended up killing more than 22 people while screaming, "Die." And they would still use that word. But the case is, he got caught red-handed at the scene, so it's not alleged that he did it. It's he did it. So, once the concept of you have identified this person, there is no questions, like the police took him down at the scene and he had the gun in his hand and you know who did it and you've got the name. It is no longer the alleged shooter. It is the shooter. Or the alleged drug dealer. If you caught him red-handed, the drug dealer. You need to stop putting that word in there. Stop trying to be friendly and nice to everyone. Tell the truth. The truth can be harsh, but it will also set you free. And that's a direct quote from my late grandmother. But to kind of prove my point here, in the background you might notice this little video game thing right here. This is actually a Pandora's Box 9D. It's got a lot of old school arcade games on it, but, you know, going back to the old arcade days, I can use the word, I can allege that I was good at these games at one point in time. Yeah, just in general, fighting games. Let me just, pick a random one. Let's see here. Here's Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Let's see if I'm any good at this game. When I used to play this game back in the day, I loved to use Ryu. So, let's use Ryu. Let's see. Oh, I'm going up against Fei Long. Holy crap, and I'm already Well, he pretty much wiped the floor with me, and this is under normal difficulty settings. This is... I always hated facing Fei Long because he's cheap and he's fast. Oh, he got me. Well, basically, I can no longer say I was good at these games, because that's definitely in the past. And I just clearly got the floor wiped with me going up against the computer. Just kind of to prove my point here. But I can no longer say I'm good at this. I'll admit I've been trying to practice and get better at it again, but so far I'm not doing very well. I've got these same games in the 30th Street Fighter game, 30th Anniversary Edition on my Nintendo Switch, and I'm getting better. I'm kind of getting the feel for it back, but it's been a long time. I was much better at the 2D scroller games, the side scrollers, than I was at this. But the reason why I kind of put this in my video is, honestly, I had an idea that something that dawned on me that we're missing in this modern age. As cool as these devices are, you know, being able to get on the internet whenever we feel like it, you know, the world at our fingertips, they've made us forget the world around us. And I bet, if you think about it, if you commute to work, let's, you know, ride a bus or a train or anything like that on a regular basis, how many people do you see every day that you see every day? Like, it's the same person. You guys take the same path, but you don't ever talk. You ever occur to you to maybe say hello to them one day? You might find you have something in common with them, find a new friend. But we live in an era where we don't even know our own neighbors anymore. Like, you come home from work, you go in where you live, you shut the door and don't go back out. Or if you go back out, you don't talk to anyone, even if you see them outside. I feel that's a problem. Because as much as they've brought the world together, they have divided it just as much. Which brings me to my point. I actually had a business idea for kind of a party rental video game setup where old school arcade games like this, like using a bunch of these Pandora's boxes to show kids how we used to play games in our past, and to kind of bring the world together, because there's a big difference in going up against a random stranger in an arcade at this game than fighting the computer. It's a lot more fun, and you know, some of you might remember those days where you would line up your quarters, your tokens, and have to remember who's in front of you, who's behind you to see who's next, just to challenge the guy that's currently holding the machine hostage. I remember doing it. I remember going to several arcades and game corners and amusement parks with a friend of mine, and him conquering the world playing a game called Primal Rage, and me just playing random games along the way. But I thought of a business idea that I'm calling the Night Arcade. And that's to bring people together. To once again challenge each other and be in the same room. Because, you know, it's fun to play games online, but you don't get the satisfaction that if your buddy just stomped you with a really wicked move to you know, look at him like, oh, and think, how? I'm going to be providing a link below as well to my blog and my Facebook page and stuff like that. Because I'm also a writer. I'm just currently kind of taking a slight break from that. But my point is, guys, be honest, tell the truth, get to know your neighbors. You need to know people around you. Well, this is Jack the Alchemist, and I'll be seeing you guys later.